Hey, what is going on, Road Trippers? Road Trip Nate here. Once again, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, as the caption said, I'm going to do a movie ranking. Tonight, I thought I would do the Fast and the Furious, one of my favorite all-time movie series. We're going 8 to 1. Let's get started. In 8th place, we have Tokyo Drift. None of the original cast members were in Tokyo Drift except for at the very end. You had Dominic Toretto show up in a clip at the very end. To drift race the main character from Tokyo Drift, and it introduced Han, who in the next movie, in the upcoming movies, was a pivotal figure, but Tokyo Drift, it was okay. It was about this kid getting in trouble in high school over here in America, having to go live with his dad, who is, I think, in the military, stationed in Japan, and he learns how to race Tokyo style drifting and all that. It was an okay movie. The later movies, it had some stuff to do with the original series, but up to its time, it did not have anything to do with the original series. It was just kind of a B-rated version of the series, just kind of a knockoff movie. That's why it's number 8. Number 7, Too Fast, Too Furious. Fast and Furious number 2. It was okay. It was a to see what Paul Walker's character was doing after the events of the first movie. To see how they brought in a few characters, a few new characters. Paul Walker was set in Miami, and they brought in Tej and Roman. They introduced those characters, so it was a decent way to introduce those characters for future movies. But it was okay. I mean, it wasn't better than the movies above it on this list, but it was a decent movie. A an infamous drug dealer that the cops were trying to take down, and they had a undercover cop plus his best friend growing up, who was now in I guess Barstow penitentiary. He was able to get out and help him out. That was a decent movie. Number 6, The Fate of the Furious. Fast and Furious number 8. It, I myself did not want the Fast and the Furious franchise to go past Paul Walker's death. But during filming of Fast and Furious 7. So number 8 was just kind of, I mean, it was a good movie. It had like a lot of espionage and sci-fi moments, and just uh, a whole lot, using a lot of different machinery to manipulate cars and make cars magnetized, and different weapons on cars to make their scenes while driving cars different. But other than that, it was okay. Introducing Dominic Toretto having a child with the Brazilian police officer chick was it was a good plot twist to the story, but all in all, it was okay. I thought they should have stopped at 7 when Paul Walker died, but it was an okay movie. Number 5, Fast and Furious, the fourth installment of the Fast and the Furious franchise. A return back after Too Fast, Too Furious and Tokyo Drift to the original series, the return of all the main characters. Dominic Toretto, Brian O'Connor, Paul Walker's character, Mia Toretto. They're trying to figure out what happened to Letty from the original franchise. She gets involved in this drug cartel racing, uh, shipping drugs across the border with this drug lord, and she ends up dying during the initial run, and it brings all of them back together for the first time since the first Fast and Furious. It has all these great moments, and they end up coming back together and end up being on the run at the end of the movie. So it was great to see that the trio of Brian O'Connor, Dominic Toretto, and Mia Toretto finally put their differences aside after the first movie. At the end of the fourth movie, and after the fourth movie, it just builds from there. So it was a good foundation for the rest of the franchise, the events of the fourth movie. But number 4, Fast and Furious 6, which I'm currently watching. They go to London, England, and then they go to Spain to help Hobbs out, who is a kind of a ruthless special agent that track fugitives across different countries. And they're contracted to help him out during a fugitive hunt because he wants their team to help him out because they are the very best in cars. And it just Mia Toretto is pregnant with Brian O'Connor's kid and is at home while Paul Walker and Vin Diesel go with the rest of the team to go chase down this fugitive. Letty ends up showing back up in this movie. She has no memory because in the fourth movie, one of the guys was supposed to kill her. He blew up her car and she got amnesia. So they try to get during the whole film. She tries to figure out who she actually is, and so they spend a lot of the movie with her kind of going back into love with Dom, not really having any memories, but and the plane just blew up that they were trying to shoot down and try to save Brian O'Connor's girlfriend Mia Toretto. while she was captured. But that is number 4 on this list. Number 3, the original Fast and the Furious. It was a very good movie. It brought outlaw street racing to the limelight of the public's attention. There's a lot of people, including myself, interested in illegal street racing, and it was set in the beautiful setting of Los Angeles, California. It had a great storyline. It was a great movie. It had everything you could want. It had an undercover cop involved in illegal street racing under, as I said, the setting of Los Angeles, California, beautiful sunny Southern California. So it was a great start to fixing to be the 9th movie, a 9-movie franchise. It didn't have all the high tech espionage and all that going on. It just was a simple street racing movie. What's number 3? Number 2, Fast 5. Fast 5 was the start of a lot of just over the top stuff that happened in the franchise afterward. They steal a bank vault from the person that runs Rio de Janeiro's corrupt cops. Over $100 million they steal, and they split it. And it just, one thing after another, it just builds up to this gigantic finish to Brian O'Connor and Dominic Toretto driving these 2 Dodge Chargers with the bank vault attached to the back of them, just through the streets of Rio with the cops chasing them, and it's just a fun time. I mean, it's just over the top, but it's a good movie to watch. But number 1 holds a sentimental place in my heart. Furious 7. Paul Walker's last movie. He passed away in a car crash during the filming of this movie. It was a good storyline. It seemed to give the character an emotional goodbye throughout the movie. Had him featured throughout the movie just to give him a good send off, which I liked. And then at the very end of the movie, they had Vin Diesel and Paul Walker driving their separate ways. It was a nice send off to the movie. The movie itself, though, was good. It introduced Jason Statham as the brother of the villain Shaw from Fast and Furious 6 over in London to make amends for the events of Fast and Furious 6 for payback. And Jason Statham was a good villain in this movie. He was a very smart villain in this movie. And it introduced Ramses, who was a scientific genius and the God's eye who could track anybody anywhere. And it went back to after going to Abu Dhabi, wrecking cars through 100-story buildings, went back to Los Angeles, the streets of Los Angeles, back to the beginning, to the very end of the movie. Saw the end of Dom's Charger, Challenger, Charger, one of the two, whatever his muscle car that he has throughout the whole series. Saw the end of that because it got a whole parking garage flattened on top of it. But all in all, it was the best movie of the series just because it was an emotional movie that saw Paul Walker's death during the filming of the movie. His brothers had to finish filming for him and got CGI'd with his face on there, and that's how the movie finished. After the movie, they retired the character. And movie number 8, they mentioned him and Mia as being retired, that they weren't going to call them up to help. So it was a good send off for the character to give them to a life together. Now I know number 9 is going to have Mia Toretto, I believe, come back. So it's kind of interesting to see how they re re how they bring her back into the mix of things, unretire her. That's my ranking for all 8 Fast and Furious movies. If you're new here, please feel free to hit that subscribe button after the video to stay notified on all my current and future whereabouts. And as always, if you like this video, give it that big thumbs up. It lets me know you care. As always, you can visit my Patreon page, patreon.com/RoadTripNate. If you feel like donating to this channel, every little bit helps and is always much appreciated. I am Road Trip Nate saying, until next time, Road Trippers, hopefully you enjoyed this video.